الموسيقى
世界学习听
World
Zane Lowe's World Record.
Alex,
Hey, Zane, the man himself. How you doing, man?
we're thrilled to have this record to be able to play. It's a beautiful and thoughtful, soulful piece of music. What sort of environment were you in? Where did this song kind of come from?
I was in New Orleans, first of all. That's, I guess, the macro of it. And just broke up with my girlfriend, actually. My baby mama. Yeah, that was tough. You know, that's an interesting place to be at. And there I was in this studio that I sort of called home. But I was sort of hermiting out. And the way that I started writing it was I remember just having no train of thought on where I was going with it and just sort of beginning. And by beginning, I mean I just started writing it as I was recording it. I'm singing the most sort of childish emotions behind the breakup and the sort of most pained, longing emotions behind it, and yet also sort of finding myself being somewhat irreverent in that, you know, I'm like pretending to scratch a record with my mouth and and just kind of like having fun at the same time. And so I think in that sense it sort of captured the whole picture for me.
Oh, Alex, man, we so appreciate the honesty and the context around this, and it's going to make it so much more special for people to be able to hear and process it. We're going to come back and continue to catch up with you, but right now, the always phenomenal and creative Alex Ebert, this is Broken Record right now on Beats One Apple Music.
Love, you being so caught in love, happy like a broken record. Everybody's broken enough. Don't you miss your man enough? Happy like so young and tough. Happy like so torn inside. Happy just on fire inside. Baby, please don't go. I will be your broken record. Won't you be my broken record? Happy is so cold and tough. Happy like so dumb and stuff. You be like choker, no muff. Happy is so man enough. Happy is so hard in love. Play me like a broken record. You be like, oh God, enough. Don't go. I will be your broken record. Won't you be my broken record?
It's funny, you know, the context of music is left to the listener, is left to us as fans to be able to absorb and apply in our own way. But a big part of why we love to talk to musicians and get stories is because we get to see the beginnings of these songs. And the artist who gave us that world record, Broken Record, Alex Ebert, just did that in a very beautiful and honest way. And, you know, amazing to think, Alex, you know, that song did so much for you, you know. It's the power of music, isn't it? Being able to process and, you know, work through.
It can depend. I've had experiences actually that I've learned big lessons from, particularly in I'm a Robot, when I would write songs from a place of sort of angst, and it would be helpful and get me through something because I'd get something out. But then as those songs go on albums and as you tour them, they come alive and they become mantras that you can't get away from. Do I want to experience that kind of longing and sort of put myself out there in such a tender way all the time? Yeah, probably not.
So the thought process behind a new record that you've made, you know, in collaboration with other musicians, but ultimately under your own name. You've got this beautiful, wonderful, magical circus in the Magnetic Zeros, which you remain faithful to. We're at 5 albums now, and you've got other ways to make music. Why come out and put something in your own voice now? Is it more of a reflection of what you said before in the sense that you were going through this tough time and it felt like the time to be personal?
You know, I love scoring movies and I love doing various things, but one thing that I didn't really get to allow to shine, except for maybe one song on my solo album, is sort of my stuff that I make when I'm just sort of by myself. And probably the chief criticism of me has been, oh, well, he's always changing up and you can't really trust who he is as an artist. Yeah, because I'm a Robot, he's like doing this like annoying, obnoxious punk rock thing, and then he's suddenly a hippie. And for me, that's actually you know, I had to do some soul searching and finally came to the understanding that that's actually who I am, is all of those things.
I can't wait, man, for everyone to hear this album. Do we have an album title?
I'm working on it, but I think we might be going with Otherness.
Otherness, beautiful, man. I love that. I love that. And will you tour it? I mean, will you go out and play these songs in earnest, and will you give it its time?
I would like to do this right and do it sort of from a philosophically sound and artistic place. And I think in order to do that with this stuff, you know, I'd like to have some production and some sort of thought go into the shows. But yeah, I actually am looking forward to playing this stuff live.
Zane Lowe's World Record.
Listen to every premiere and every headline record right here in Apple Music on Zane Lowe's World Record playlist.